Hello, everybody.
Hello, folks. How are you today? We are hoping that you are having a wonderful day.
This is Mountain Girl and...
Condom Lady.
Yay.
We have a lack of enthusiasm. No, not enthusiasm. We're always very enthusiastic. But a little bit of a lack of energy today. We're struggling just a little bit.
Just a little.
It's been super crazy at our office, like I said last time when we did our last podcast about the immune system. And it's still a little bit crazy. So new computers being set up, it's just a lot.
A bunch of desks being moved in and out. And,
yes,
goodness.
yeah. So just a lot of stuff. So
very chaotic, and it's only Monday.
Exactly. So, but today we are going to be actually talking about HIV again. So HIV is a fairly big topic because, of course, you have to have the information about your immune system first, which is what we did last time. Today, we're going to actually be talking about the virus itself and what happens when you contract HIV. So and then next time we will be talking about PrEP and PEP and how those work for people and just what they do for people. And just heads up. There is no cure for HIV. I just needed to put that out there. I want people to realize there is no vaccine for it. There is no cure. Once you've contracted it, that's it. You will have it forever.
It's like a marriage that you didn't want to be in.
That's right. But with current technology and current drug system, stuff like that, you can live a very normal life, very healthy, normal life. But that's what we're going to start with today. So, HIV, what does it stand for?
I don't
know. Okay. So it stands for human Jeez. Can't even get the words out. Okay. It stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak today. So yes, that the abbreviate. Good Lord. Okay, yeah, no, I cannot, I have rented lips today, so bear with me, folks. I do apologize. All right, so the abbreviation is HIV and can be referred to the virus or the HIV infection.
Okay.
All right, so what is AIDS?
I got this. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome.
Yay! Good job. Good job. That's right. So they are two different stages. HIV is the virus that you have contracted. All right. AIDS is something different. And we'll get into that as we keep moving forward through discussing HIV. So at this stage, the HIV infection that has occurred, your immune system has been badly damaged. And this is where AIDS comes in, okay? Mm-hmm. So your immune system has been badly damaged, and you have become vulnerable to something called an opportunistic infection. All right? Okay. AIDS is not a disease. Rather, it is a syndrome. It is associated with HIV. So it is not a disease.
That's why we say HIV and AIDS.
That's right. People do not die from AIDS, okay?
No.
they die from AIDS-related diseases. So when a person who is HIV positive, the number of CD4 cells, and if you remember last time, we talked about the different cells, messenger cells. Those are the CD4 or T4 cells.
Yep.
When those cells in your immune system fall below 200 cells per cubic milliliter of blood.
Oh my.
So now that doesn't...
It doesn't sound like a lot.
It doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't, and it's kind of hard to describe if that's not something that is within your scope. What does a cubic blah, blah, blah milliliter of blood mean? Well, if you think about it, it's like any other kind of liquid, and it has a measurability. Mm-hmm. So within that little drop of blood, if you have 200 cells that are HIV infected, so you have 200 HIV cells within that drop, that is what they start to consider you are moving into the process of AIDS. Okay, so let me just go back over that for a second because I didn't quite make it quite clear. So when a person who has HIV and the number of CD4 or T4 cells falls below 200 cells per cubic millimeter of blood, they are considered to have progressed to AIDS.
Okay.
All right. So that means basically you don't have that alarm system in your immune system anymore. It's not going to pop up and say, oh, wait a second, you're sick. Mm-hmm. There's something going on. It's damaged. So usually a person who has a healthy immune system has between 500 and 1,600 of these cells, of your CD4 cells. Do you need to sneeze?
No.
You do.
It went away.
So, usually you have between 500 and 1,600 cells per cubic millimeter of blood. Okay, so that's a huge difference, right? So, healthy immune system versus the not immune system. There's a big difference. So at that point, when you have fallen below the 200 cells, you are then considered to have progressed to AIDS. And if you develop one or more opportunistic illness, regardless of your CD4 cell count. Mm-hmm. Okay. So those without treatment, so people that have contracted HIV but choose not to get treatment, so going to their doctor and getting, treated for HIV,
yep,
typically can live about 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yes. So, and that's like once you've progressed to having AIDS, you will typically live about another 3 years. Once you've had a dangerous, and all that means is that your CD4 cells have dropped to 200 or below. Okay. Mm-hmm. Or you could have opportunistic diseases. Once you have the dangerous opportunistic illnesses, lifetime expectancy without treatment actually falls to 1 year.
Oh my.
So there are antiretroviral therapies out there. Mm-hmm. Short term is ART. Because, of course, we all know today I am a little bit tongue-tied.
Yes.
So, I think I pronounced it antiretroviral therapy. Yes, I pronounced that correctly.
There we go.
Aha. Check it out. Okay. So, opportunistic diseases, got that right.
Okay.
They can actually, if you don't have a healthy immune system, they can overwhelm your body. So things like pneumonia, tuberculosis, toxoplasmosis, which is a protozoa infection, some cancers, diarrheal diseases. So there's some, nastiness that can go on.
Yeah.
But those are infections that normally your body can fight off if it's a healthy immune system. But when you have HIV and it has attacked your immune system and your CD4 cells and stuff, so that just means that your immune system is weak. So these ones will come in, these, say like a pneumonia, stuff like that, will come into your system and they will overwhelm it. They will take over and they will cause, say, pneumonia to be a lot worse than what if your immune system was healthy. So other common infections, of course, are tuberculosis.
Yep.
Okay. Thrush, meningitis. So does anybody? Thrush is like a yeast infection type thing.
Okay.
Herpes. These things can all come into your body and start really wreaking some havoc and pushing you further and further towards AIDS. Okay, you can.
It's like a party.
Yeah. Oh, really
A
bad
bad-
party.
a bad
Yeah, let's
party.
go with it. It's a really bad party. We do not
bad
want this
party.
kind of party.
No.
If you've contracted HIV,
It's
go
a
to your
house
doctor.
party that your parents said no to.
Exactly. We do not want this kind of house party going on. No. This is like the worst house party that you could. Let's just go with we don't want this happening. Okay? So how does a person get HIV? Mountain Girl, do you know?
It can go through bodily fluids. Like vaginal fluid and semen. But
Yes.
not spit.
No, you are perfectly safe hugging somebody who's HIV positive, holding their hand, sharing a plate of food. You're perfectly safe that way. Kissing, all of those types of things. So yes, it can. Vaginal fluid and semen are two. Amniotic fluid. So you can, if you're pregnant, pass on HIV through pregnancy. Also through breast milk. It actually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yeah.
remember that one from last one.
Blood to blood as well. So if you're using injection drugs and you don't use a clean needle every time, you can also contract it through that. Tattooing. Now, most tattooing places anymore, anywhere where you're going to get a tattoo, they usually use one-shot stuff.
One-time needles.
That's right. As well as their ink. They usually use ink and then they get rid of it. They have small bowls or things of ink that they use per person and they don't reuse that. Even with like piercing, you need to make sure that you ask those questions. How do they clean their instruments? Do they use an autoclave? Things like that to make sure that any kind of infection, HIV, Hep C, Hep B, those types of things have been kind of like sterilized and cleaned.
Yes.
Also, you can contract HIV through rectal fluids. Now, there has been, just a small note, sometimes there is blood in the urine, stool, or even in your saliva, okay? So it is not the saliva. Let's make that clear. It's not the saliva, but there may be blood inside your saliva. So if you come in contact with any blood in, say, areas where you're having sex, vaginal sex, anal sex, all that kind of stuff, there is a possibility of transmitting HIV. Now, this is also somebody who's not being treated. So you've contracted it, you don't know yet, and you're not on a drug therapy yet. Okay. So basically, anybody who is having unprotected sex, who is using needles that are not clean, that you're sharing needles, things like that, you can get HIV. It is not, again, I know I said it last time, but it is not a virus that cares who you are.
Yep.
It does not care if you're gay. It doesn't care if you're straight. It doesn't care if you are a purple people eater. It does not care. You can get infected.
Yes.
Okay? So let's try to make sure that we use condoms. Please use condoms, folks. Go get tested. They are important. They will keep you safe. All right? We don't want any more people contracting HIV. So, yes, you can spread HIV to your baby if you're pregnant. So again, make sure you get tested. Now, I know that the majority of women that are pregnant, they do get tested for HIV, I believe in the middle of the pregnancy, as well at the very beginning, you get tested.
Yes.
All right. But again, if you are having unprotected sex while you're pregnant, there can be some issues.
You can still get it if you're pregnant.
So please be open and honest with your doctors and let them know if there's a little bit more of a higher risk lifestyle going on. So babies have been known to contract the virus while baby is inside mom, as well as babies have also been known to contract HIV when mom is breastfeeding. There is a high likelihood of HIV within the breast milk. It seems to be a really good area for promoting HIV. So if you are pregnant or if you are having a baby and you are planning on breastfeeding, please make sure you get tested.
Yes.
Easiest way. And then, of course, we have, with technology and everything, we do have multiple different ways of feeding our babies without using breast milk if that is an issue. So that is where I am going to leave today's stuff about HIV. Of course, if you have any questions or concerns about this podcast, please let us know.
We will continue on HIV next time.
Yes, next time we do have one more about HIV, and it is actually in regard to the drug therapy that you can take. So the one thing that is really cool that has happened over the last little while here is that with the drugs that you can take, if you can get your blood levels, so your CD4 count up and your HIV level down. So your HIV level, that means the virus that's within your blood, if you can get it down to almost undetectable, but actually it's undetectable, your chances of transmitting HIV become almost non-existent.
Yay!
So we're going to talk about that next time. And do you have any other questions, Mountain Girl? I know I talk to you a lot about this stuff. So.
No, I think I am fresh out of questions for now.
That's quite all right. Like I said, we have a little bit low energy level today, but it's okay. Next time we'll have a much higher energy level. So folks, remember, use condoms, stay safe, enjoy your holidays that are going to be coming up soon. And definitely give us a shout if you have comments or questions. Our email address and information will be in the podcast. So we shall chat to you later. Remember, next time is going to be about drug therapy.
Woohoo! Bye.
Catch us later.